This is a very interesting moment.
Do you know what you're doing?
Okay, so we have a bit of a trigger.
What I wanted, but lately I'm second guessing myself.
As you should, you know, we change.
You don't want to regret
Sometimes we're
making the
wrong.
wrong call here.
I already do. I feel like I've made a big mistake. I shouldn't have been so quick to call it.
Exactly.
So quick to assume.
I'm sorry. I realized I haven't moved on from my ex.
Frankie is challenged by a parent advocating for the kid, and this parent seemed to be making a very real point. Was she passing the note, or was she in possession of the note? Meaning, did you see intent, or did you assume intent? And for the first time, Frankie pauses and listens. That's when the two timelines, the professional and the personal, start overlapping again, because just like he assumed the student's guilt without checking, he also assumed danger in his past relationship without checking in with himself, more specifically. He assumed the marriage talk was an attack. He assumed vulnerability was a threat. He assumed that leaving first would hurt less than being left, and none of those assumptions were rooted in reality. They were rooted in fear. Here's the thing about armor, though, and it's something that most of us don't realize until it's way too late. When the mask controls you, you end up protecting yourself from growth and from change. You protect yourself from getting out of your comfort zone, which ironically is the only place where life actually happens. In Frankie's story, we were never shown a real reason why he's afraid of commitment. There's no traumatic betrayal, no clear emotional injury. What we see instead is that he's been armoring up for so long that he forgot to ever check whether he needed to anymore. And that's why this moment matters so much, because Frankie is finally realizing that the wishes of his mask go directly against the wishes of his heart. His mask wants safety, but he wants love. His mask wants certainty, he wants connection. His mask wants perfection, but he wants life. And when those two desires crash into each other, that's when real change becomes possible. Don't get me wrong, okay? This isn't about throwing the armor away, but it is about learning to use it differently. And I'm proud to say that Frankie does just that in this scene. Instead of using his armor to defend himself, he uses it to be brave enough to admit he might have made a mistake. Brave enough to stay open instead of shutting down. Brave enough to be wrong and still worthy. And that is emotional maturity, you know, when we stop reacting and instead we respond consciously out of courage. Being armored isn't the problem. Being controlled by the armor is.